Greetings and welcome. You've joined Anita from Yoga on the Road. Today and next week's tutorial, so it's a two-part series, is going to be focused on a pose known as Parivta Utkatasana, known as Parivta Trikonasana, which translates to revolved or twisted triangle pose. So it's not necessarily a beginner's pose, but there are some lovely lead-ups into moving towards that pose, which demonstrate different muscle actions, different areas of opening our body, different ways to make your body more stable in the pose. So the takeaways, I guess, for you are whatever land with you and sit well in your own body. So I suggest for this practice that you have a wall as far as props are concerned. Better still if you have access to a ledge, like a window ledge, great. If not, a wall should suffice. It will also be probably handy to have a couple of blocks. The way we're going to move through this session today is we're going to warm up our body with a couple of slow, flowy salutations, and then we'll move straight into breaking it down into smaller parts and components. So once you're ready, come to stand at the top of your mat with your feet just below your hips, so about a hip distance apart. And I want you to start by lifting the toes up, so you're pressing down into the big toe and little toe mounds at the front of the foot and the center of the heel, and then lower the toes. So remember that as we move through standing poses, our feet are our foundation. So just take a moment to notice what your feet feel like settled into the mat or the ground below you. You might notice that your weight shifts more into the ball of your foot. For some, the weight might sit in the heel of your foot. For others, you might stand on the outer part of the foot or the inner part of the foot or somewhere in between any of those options. So just notice for you where your weight is distributed. As you check in, you might like to take a moment to check in with your breath. By noticing the pace of your breath, the depth of your breath, maybe even the textures of your breath. And this can quite often be supported just by noticing the sound of your breath. And then I just want you to add some slight engagement to your legs now by lifting your kneecaps up, just to the point where you can feel your thighs begin to engage. And then as much as you can, add just the tiniest micro bend to the knees to stop them from hyperextending or bowing out towards the back. So soft lifting of the kneecaps, soft engagement of the thighs. As you inhale, reach and extend the fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. Stretch and lengthen through the side waist. And then exhale, return the hands to the heart. Let's take that twice more. As you breathe in, reach all the way up towards the ceiling. Have a feeling of stretching through the right side waist by reaching to the left, and then stretching through the left side waist or obliques by reaching towards the right. Inhale all the way back up to the center, and then exhale, return hands to the heart. Big sweeping of the arms all the way up to a full body stretch. Still a slight engagement and toning in the legs. Reach, one way and then the other, stretching the obliques and the side waist. And then exhale, return hands to the heart. Now we're going to add on to that with a sun salutation. So as you breathe in, inhale, lift all the way up, extend to a full body stretch. Exhale, soften the knees, forward fold, Uttanasana or forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Press into the feet, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, Ardha Uttanasana. Breathe out, Uttanasana, forward fold. Breathe in, reach up. Fingertips all the way to the ceiling. Breathe out, hands to heart. Breathe in, circle the arms all the way up. Breathe out, float forward. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, step or walk back to plank. Remembering that plank can be taken as a modified variation, lowering the knees to the ground. Breathe in, body weight shifts forward out over the wrists, and then as you breathe out, lower all the way towards the ground. Press the feet firmly into the mat. Have a feeling again of lifting through the kneecaps, engaging the thighs. Breathe in, press the pelvis in towards the ground. Tilt the hips down towards the feet as you create space in the lower spine. Lift the chest up. On your next out breath, push back to tabletop or straight to downward facing dog. Take a breath in here. Breathe out to finish the cycle. Either walk the feet forward to the hands or the hands back to meet the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more for a complete body warm up. Breathe in, arms float up. Forward fold on an out breath. Halfway lift, inhale. Breathe out, step or walk back to plank. Kneecaps lifting, thighs engaged. Breathe out, lower all the way to the ground. Breathe in, press the feet into the mat. Engage the legs, chest lifts away from the ground. Breathe out, push back to downward facing dog, either via the knees or plank pose, downward facing dog. Complete that cycle by walking the feet forward or hands back. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Press into the feet, rise all the way up. Breathe out, hands to heart. Close down your eyes gently. Release the hands to your side and just take a moment to notice any new sensations, any new feelings. Gently open your eyes. Take your blocks and just place them just in front of you on the highest height option that you have available to you. So we're just going to move through a few poses that will help to stabilize your pose as we move closer to the peak pose. So as you breathe in, sweep the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, we're coming into this half forward fold. So again, have that connection of the feet pressing into the mat. If you're able to, start to extend the legs. You want to create that action again of the kneecaps lifting and the thighs lightly engaging. And then just tuck your chin slightly into that collarbone notch. Reposition the hands if you need to so that the wrists are below the shoulders. And hold this pose with the legs lightly engaged for 3 to 4 breaths. Exhale, forward fold. Letting the knees soften as you need to. Breathe in, full body stretch, reach the fingers up. Breathe out, hands to heart. We're now moving into a slightly twisted variation of that pose. So I'll turn front on for you. As you breathe in, arms sweep all the way up. As you breathe out, soften the knees, forward fold. Take a moment here in halfway lift or Ardha Uttanasana. As you breathe out, soften the knees and forward fold, and either with or without blocks depending on your comfort. You're going to walk the hands all the way over to one side of the body. Let's start with the right side. And then take your left hand, place it on either the ankle or the calf of the right leg. Lower the head and then twist your body until you feel a sense of an opening in your left side waist. Again, take 2 or 3 breaths here. This is one of those poses that is now helping to open parts of the body, particularly the obliques, the waist. Use a little bit of resistance on your right leg to create a little bit more sensation and awareness of that opening. And then slowly release. Walk your blocks now around to the left-hand side. Again, just take a moment to notice that space that you're creating in the right side may also be creating a contraction in the left side of your body. So take a moment to feel, to notice. And then take your right hand onto the outer left ankle or outer calf. And then you're going to use a little bit of resistance by pulling on that leg. Add a little bit more twist and opening in the right side now. Again, just sit here, stand here with any sensations you're aware of. Walk your blocks back to center. Halfway lift. And as you exhale here, lower the chest in towards the thighs. I'm just going to reorientate here for you, Uttanasana or forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Stepping straight into our next shape, which is more of a stabilizing shape for our focus or peak pose. Step your right leg back, walk the blocks back, and then you're just going to pivot on the ball of your foot, lower your heel all the way to the ground. The back foot will be at about a 40-degree angle. So it's not quite parallel with the back of the mat. And then you can just readjust your blocks here to accommodate you as you extend through the front leg. As you extend through the front leg, that action again here of lifting through your kneecap and engaging your thigh is really important here. And just for alignment, take the thumb of your left hand and place it in your left hip crease. sorry, I've reorientated myself. Place it in your left hip crease and you're just going to draw the left hip back so that the hips are nice and square and even. It will definitely intensify any sensation, so be prepared for that. And then once you feel the hips are square and even, release the thumb and stay in this halfway lift. This is Parsvottanasana or pyramid pose. Keep reaching the kneecaps up, engaging the thighs of both the front and the back leg. Bend the front knee so that the knee is stacked over the ankle. Lift the back heel. We're going to swap sides. So step the back foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Hold that shape for just a moment. Keep the kneecaps lifting and engaged. And then stepping the left foot back, reposition the blocks, lower the heel to the ground. Start to extend through your right leg now. And again, see if you can just manually draw the right hip back and down. Notice any intensifying of sensations that you notice. And if you need to physically help yourself adjust that hip, then just place the thumb in the hip crease, draw the right hip back. Take the blocks down to the lowest level. I'm just going to move through a nice slow little half flow to integrate any of that toning of the thighs and the calves and the leg muscles. Step the right foot back, downward facing dog supported on the hands at the front of the body. Inhale, plank pose, shoulders shift out over the wrists. Exhale, lower all the way to the ground, your preference of support here. Inhale, baby cobra, legs engaged to support you, lift the chest away. Exhale, return to tabletop, push back, downward facing dog. Two breaths here. Walk your hands slowly back to meet the feet. Knees can bend here to accommodate any tension. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Press into the feet, rise up. Breathe out, hands to heart. The last pose we're finishing off on today is where you'll need a wall. So grab a wall position. And then we'll start just building our balance awareness. So you're going to transfer the weight to your left foot and just draw the right knee in towards the chest. Just go with any little fluctuations that the body makes to counteract balance. You're going to lower the right foot, Press the weight into the right foot as the left leg lifts. Draw the knee in towards the chest. This is obviously a stabilizing position of the peak pose. Lower the left foot. Turn to face the wall. And you're going to press the foot, your right foot, into the wall. And again, you want to create about a right angle. It might not necessarily look like that, so lift the leg as high as you comfortably can. The left foot is firmly pressed into the floor, kneecap still lifting, thigh lightly engaging. And then you're going to turn your chest. So whether you want to physically grab a hold of your ribs and turn your chest to face or to the right. And then slide your left hand down the outside of your right leg as far down as you can possibly come. And then extend your right arm out. Keep the right hip drawing back and down. Use the force of the left hand to press into the outer leg to just open the chest and the twist up just a little more. And then if it's comfortable for you, look down the line of the right arm. Slowly release. Take the chest back to center, release the hands. Lower the leg towards the floor. Inhale, reach all the way up. Just a little half salutation before we change sides. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. At Ardha Uttanasana position. Hands can be supported on the shins here. So again, just take a moment. Creating leg engagement, lifting your kneecaps, engaging your thighs. It's all about toning the legs and the thighs and the calves today. Exhale, forward fold. Round up through the spine slowly. So with the head hanging, the arms hanging. Once you're all the way up, rotate the shoulders all the way back, lift through the crown of the head, and then extend your left leg now towards the ceiling. Splits, hang on, towards the wall. And just take a moment to just reacquaint yourself with balance here. Might feel completely different on this side. So as much as you can, keep drawing the left hip down. When you feel stable, shift your ribs to the left-hand side as far as you comfortably can, and then take the right hand to the outer leg. Use your hand to create a little bit more openness and twist in the ribs, and then start to extend the left arm back. Again, if it feels comfortable for your neck, look down the line of the left arm. Noticing that it might be completely different on this side. Keep both legs engaged, toned, supporting you. Slowly release the arm. Revolve the chest back towards the front. Lower the leg towards the ground. Slow salutation as we finish up our practice for today. As you breathe in, float the arms up. Taking your time to feel every little sensation here. You might like to press the palms together. As you breathe out, soften the knees and fold forward over your hips, chest lowering towards the thighs. Breathe in, halfway lift. Might look like hands on the floor or hands to the shins. On your next breath out, forward fold. Inhale, walk or step the feet back to plank position. Plank position looks like the shoulders being stacked over the wrists. Exhale, lower all the way to the ground. Inhale, baby cobra. Chest lifts away from the floor. Exhale, push back, child's pose. Bring your knees as wide apart as comfortable for you and settle the hips all the way back towards the heels. Support your head and the rest of the body where it feels right and comfortable and safe for you to explore. And a really nice way to finish this practice is to either just stay here and tune in or anchor to your breath, to any bodily sensations. Another lovely way to finish the practice off today is to have your legs extended up the wall. There's a bit of a technique to get there. So I'll just try and demonstrate here. You typically want to start with your body fairly close up to the wall so that your body is side on. You'll then lay down onto the side of your shoulder, and then as you roll, draw the knees in towards the chest, let the legs move up the wall. Feel any tension dripping from the toes and the soles of the feet down through the ankles, calves, the knees, thighs, into the glutes, all those areas that you just worked. And then start to feel the energy in the legs, as noticing that as a tingling feeling in the feet and the toes, or a warmth in the legs. And with whatever time you have remaining and available to you to explore either child's pose or Viparita Karani, legs up the wall pose a little more, then take your time. I thank you for taking the time out to practice with me today. Keep an eye out next week for the follow-up towards revolved or twisted triangle pose. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. I am Anita from Yoga on the Road. Namaste.